What the hell is that? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, Habibis, and Eid Mubarak to everyone. Of course, Eid Mubarak to everyone. May you had a good Ramadan and you're having a good Eid, of course. Eid Mubarak to everyone, of course. Massive weekend ahead. Man United play Bournemouth today to put pressure on Man City and also on Aston Villa, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Liverpool are back, of course, with a massive win over Galatasaray. Can they keep it up with the weekend against Brighton, of course? Chelsea in disarray. There is a lot of trouble at Chelsea currently as it stands. There are people that are saying that the project is going where it's supposed to go. And there are people that are saying that the Chelsea team might be dismantled later this season with Enzo Fernandez rumors, others as well. Liam Rossinier is under a lot of criticism, of course. But the biggest news, of course, this weekend, we know what it is. It is the Cup Final. It's the Carabao Cup Final. Is it going to be Arsenal's first silverware in 5 years? Who has more pressure, or City are going to bounce back and get the first trophy of the season, of course. We got a great panel for you today. We got Sal, of course, joining us. Dio. Mark is back here with us, of course. And we got Rax and we got Martin joining us. Spurs might get relegated, but they fought hard against Atletico Madrid. We're going to be joined by Jim as well. So we'll see how's everyone doing. Salah Eid Mubarak first to you and all the people that are celebrating. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Oh my God.
Good, man.
Rack,
Good.
be happy, Rack. Your team
I'm
won.
good.
You're in the car. You're in the traffic. You're not even moving.
I'm not in traffic. I'm not in traffic. I'm parked up outside my friend's house. They're having a bit of a Eid party, so I'm going to go in and join them after in a bit and have some nice food.
All
But
right. Good
yeah,
food.
Eid Mubarak to everybody who's celebrating.
Yeah. How are you, Mark? You're right.
I've been better, Mo, as you can imagine. I've been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
We'll
life
come on to
is
that
good.
later.
We'll come to that later. Dio.
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm happy. I'm chilling. You know, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens this weekend. Yeah, but I'm good though. Everything else is good, regardless. You know, my team has given me everything to be proud of so far. We'll see if they can get it over the line.
We'll see. Salah, you're right. You're good.
I'm good,
Good
man.
down there. You're good.
I'm good.
Anyway, I want to start with saying something. Who has more pressure, guys, over the weekend? You guys think? Is it Arsenal, or you guys think? Or should we start until Martin comes here? We should start actually with Man United. We should start with Man United, right? Let's get it out of the way. Manchester United. Yeah. Just Bournemouth today. How crucial that is, and how do you see the team go? And do you think if Carrick wins that, he deserves now the shout to get the job?
I think I'm still going to analyse it at the end of the season. Let's see where we are and who's available in regards to the managers. I would say that if he wins against Bournemouth and he wins his next few games, qualifies from the Champions League, I think you can't look any further than Carrick. You can't, unless there's Luis Enrique available, which he probably won't be. Then I'll just keep Carrick at the moment. I don't know any other manager that I could trust to come into that job. It's such a big job. It's so hard. They say it's the most difficult job in football at the moment, don't they? So I would say that keep Carrick. Let's see what happens. But I know a lot of people will be happy about that because a lot of people don't rate Carrick for whatever reason. But yeah, man, I'm happy because we've got Bournemouth today. We can close the gap to 4 points to second. You know, you never know. 4 points is nothing. 7 games to go. It's not bad.
Would you keep the same lineup? Would you give Casemiro another year for you? Do you think that Casemiro should stay another year?
I would like him to stay. I think his influence, his experience is so important to the team. The problem is that our board are thinking more financial than they're thinking logic. They're thinking 350 grand a week he earns, so it's quite a lot of money. And I don't want to keep Casemiro and stifle the opportunity to sign another midfielder. That's the biggest problem I have because we do need to rebuild that midfield. Ideally, I'll keep him and sign a midfielder, but we'll have to wait and see. I think he's leaving anyway. I don't think they're going to give him another contract. Sadly, he's done very well. One of the players of the season for Man United anyway.
Do you guys know? I wanted to actually discuss something with this panel just quickly about the Bruno Fernandes player of the season, PFA player of the season. One of the things that I actually realized yesterday, someone shared that Bruno Fernandes cannot win player of the season in the Premier League this season.
Why?
And the reason why he cannot win it is because in the PFA player of the season, it is your contribution to your club in all competitions, not only in the Premier League. And Man United got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and not in the European. So it has to go to a player that is contributing to the 4 competitions. That is in the definition of it. Like, he's having a good season, Bruno Fernandes. I'm not denying that. Number one, I don't think that Bruno Fernandes is having an exceptional season, right? For me, an exceptional season is what Erling Haaland did in the league, or what Salah did last season, or when Salah came to Liverpool and broke the record. He's having a very good season, Bruno Fernandes. But people are making it like Bruno Fernandes is like smashing records left. He's like having a 40+ GA. He's leading his team to like being top of the league or something like this.
This matters, Mo. This matters. You could already say he's probably arguably the greatest Manchester United playmaker in history. He's broken that record. Beckham had 15 assists in the Premier League season. He's already got 16. And he did that in about 5 games quicker than that. And he did it in a team which is not that great. No disrespect to you, Sal. You know this is truth. Right? He's only, 4 or 5 goals, 4 or 5 assists away from breaking the all-time. Even if he just gets to 20 assists in a season, Mo, because of the team that he's doing it in, I already would put him as one of the greatest. It's an exceptional season.
Do you actually think this team is that bad, though? Do you think it's as bad as people are making out? And Bremo, Cunha, Sesko, it's quite a good team.
It's just how long they've taken to click, Sal.
Yeah.
That's what it is. A lot of the season, previously, early on the season, you got to admit it, you weren't playing great. Right? And he's still putting up the numbers. Imagine you put that Bruno Fernandes in the Arsenal team or in one of the top Man City teams. What would his numbers be? He'll be smashing all types of records. For me, it's a fantastic season. It's an exceptional season. He's already smashed the assist record for Manchester United. How could you not even consider him as one of the best?
No,
players?
he is considered. I'm not saying anything.
You are,
bro.
Can I say
He's playing.
I want to microanalyze Bruno Fernandes. Of his 16 assists, only 7 of them are from open play. So you know how every other team is criticized about set pieces. So do we take that away from him? No, we don't. My point again is, yes, he's having a great season, and I think he's going to break the record for assists this season. I don't think he will. I think he will.
He could.
In 7 games, he'll have 4 assists. In the next 7 games, he will have 4 assists at least, especially when it comes to set pieces. And again, if that happens, it's fair on him. He's played well this season as a player to actually have the shout. But the rule states that it's a player who has contributed in all comps. So you can look at what he's done in all comps before you got knocked out. Look at what he's done in the Premier League so far. and then maybe look at that and look at all the other players that are up for a shout. But if you're talking about an individual brilliant season and one of the best playmakers to play in the Premier League, I think Bruno Fernandes is on that list. I'm not taking it away from him. But again, the reason I brought up the open play set piece, the open play assist and the set piece assist is because of how fans have been talking all season as those set pieces are trash. Like, we should not be counting it. So
my question to you then would be,
only his open play, who
has the most amount of assists from open play then? Do you know that?
I think it's what's his name?
Shirky.
I think Shirky has the same 8 or 9 from open play, and I think what's his name again? Haaland also has about the same number with Bruno Fernandes. Haaland has the same assist numbers, similar numbers. So again,
I mean, look, that
so
is
again,
fair. But for me, you have to look at the dead ball as well. It's not just from open play.
I know. I agree. Listen, I agree with you. I'm only bringing it up because when other teams score set pieces, people try to talk it down and say, "Oh yeah, they score only from set pieces." So should we do that to Bruno Fernandes? No, he's having a brilliant season. You know, I just brought it up so we can actually have that on the table. Like, hey.
So it's either you have. So basically, the PFA Player of the Year is decided through an exclusive vote by the members of the Professional Football Association (PFA), the trade union for professional footballers in England as well. Every spring, players from the top 4 divisions of English football vote for their best peer of the season, making it Player of the Year. Right? It is for every single competition. You know what I mean? It is that's what it says in all the top flights. It's not only the Premier League. So people from the Championship vote as well. It is not only. It's for all English football. It is not only for the Premier League. That's what I read online. Right? For contribution for the English clubs. That's what I wrote. It might be right, it might be wrong, right?
All teams, Mo, are in different competitions. Manchester United are not in the Champions League. The best way to gauge it is from the Premier League.
The difficulty comes for it. The difficulty of your season comes to this. Sal will tell you, it is easier, either Man United, it is easier to play in one competition than having to juggle 90 minutes over 90, overnight, and Carabao Cup and Champions League or Europa League even, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that your contribution to your team in Europa League is counted. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League or Champions League, then the league. It is different. In my opinion, it is different and it's harder, in my opinion.
Can I add something to what you said?
And I'm not being, people think that I'm taking something away from Bruno Fernandes. I am not taking anything away from him. I'm just stating the fact of the difficulty of you having to play every 3 days for your team in multiple competitions. It is harder. And also, people are making it as Bruno Fernandes is having a Salah season. He isn't. He's not. He's having a great season for Man United team, but not as great. Erling Haaland came to the Premier League, scored 36 goals, broke the record that was set by Salah, who broke the record. These are, and I know the assist record out 20, 21, 22. Scoring that amount of goals is ridiculous. And this is why I'm not hating on Bruno. I think he's a good player. I've always defended Bruno. I just think the players that compete in 4 competitions are more worthy of the trophy of that award than the player that is playing in one competition in only the Premier League. I think that's only fair.
Because again, I think I understand like what Mo is saying. Like, if you have to fight 4 people every week and I have to fight 1 person every week, and then they try to compare what we've both done, and we're both doing very, very well, we have to consider the fact that you're fighting 4 different people every week. We have to consider that fact that you're performing every 3 days, and I'm getting to rest, I'm getting to train, I'm getting to get back in the groove, I'm getting to be able to, make a plan for the next game. Meanwhile, this other person is out of a game today, goes home, sleeps, the next day is in training, and the day after he's in another game. So you also have to put that into consideration, because there's fatigue, there's tiredness, and they're humans. But one is getting rest, and he's doing amazing. Nobody's saying he's not, but then the others are not. The others who he's being compared to, So again, yeah. But I think
I want to go back to Man United before. Go ahead, Trak. Go ahead.
The thing is, I don't know if they're like what the formal criteria is in terms of what should be considered, what shouldn't be considered. Ultimately, people are just gonna. I think most of the time, what's transpired is that people will vote for who they want to win, and you can talk about criteria this, criteria that. If an individual player thinks Bruno Fernandes deserves it, they're going to vote for them, because they've been questionable decisions in the past. But I think Fernandes has had a really, really good season. I think if you set him aside, he's been undoubtedly the shining light for United. There's been games where he's kind of dragged them, by the neck to winning games. So I think if you talk about him as I don't like these American terms like MVP. You could argue he is the MVP, but maybe that's not player of the season. I don't know. Maybe there should be different awards. But I think
Fair enough.
I think you could argue that Fernandes is more valuable for United than Rice or Gabriel.
Just the last point I want to make about Man United before going on. Big up Martin for joining us. Of course, Jim. Sal, how important it is for you to get second if you are to get second ahead of Manchester?
I think it's a bonus. It's just a bit of bragging rights. If we come second, it'd be a phenomenal achievement. I've said that from the beginning. That would be an amazing achievement. Coming ahead of Man City would be.
By the way, I'm
nice.
sorry. That doesn't I'm assuming that if you're going to get second, Man City have to, because I don't think you're catching Arsenal. That's if Man City don't even win the league. So that's different.
If we come second, it'd be an amazing achievement. I've seen it before, though.
Does it mean that next season you got to go and challenge for the league?
Yeah, I think we can. It depends on the transfer window, what we do in the transfer window, what players we bring in, the caliber of players that we bring in, the quantity as well, because we haven't got a squad, as we spoke about last week. We're going to be in the Champions League potentially, FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League. That's when you separate the men from the boys, isn't it? When you play all these competitions. And as Daya was saying there about the Bruno Fernandes, when you have to pick yourself up every couple of days, mentally, it is draining as well. You have to think about it. I remember when United were playing in all competitions back in the days, it was difficult. And so I would say that Man United need to buy about 8 or 9 players for me to be like, yeah, we're gonna challenge for the league. Hopefully we will. If we do, I don't think we're that far away. I think we've got a decent team. I think it's underrated. I think with confidence next season, we could do bits next season. Not saying we're going to win the league, but we come third this season. Why not aim for second? If we come third this season, why not? Why not challenge for the league? The mountains are there to be climbed. That's what I would say.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see how it goes with Man United. The cup final. Who has more pressure, people, to win that cup final? Guys, before we do that, there's over 500 people in the house. We aren't even on 100 likes. Guys, the like button, big up everyone that joined us, of course, in the terrace. The like button looks like thumbs up underneath your chat. So close the like chat, please. Hit the like button.
Say something, Rax, go on.
Rax,
tell them what it looks like. Go on.
Tell me.
They need to know. That's brilliant.
It looks
Hit
like
that
this.
like button, people. Let's get to 200 likes at least in the next 5 minutes. Who has more pressure to win it now? The media is saying that City have more pressure to win that. That's not me. The media is saying that City have more pressure to win that over Arsenal now after the Champions League and after City are 9 points behind Arsenal. That's not me. So I want to hear what everyone thinks.
I think the kind of pressure you're talking about is different for both teams. The City pressure is probably a momentum pressure, which is we've drawn a couple of games. We've lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League. We need to win our next game. We can't have a momentum run of just losing and dropping points, right? And this happens to be a game that they have to play. I think the pressure for Arsenal is we haven't won any trophies in a long time, and this is a chance to win a trophy type of pressure. So it depends on who's more hungry and for how they want to approach it. Is it City who wants to start up a new winning run, which could actually galvanize them to go on and have a 4 or 5 game winning run? Or is it Arsenal that is finally playing in the final after 6 years and saying, hey, we have to get this over the line? So I don't think one is bigger than the other. I think it's a different feeling for both teams. I mean, that's the way I've thought about it all week. I've seen what the media is doing, and I think it's just nonsense. I think City are going through a momentum issue, and they could use this to spark up their momentum. They could. It could happen. But if you look at the current form of both teams, you can say Arsenal has a better form than City. But we all know that's not how football is played. Football is played on the field. When you get there on Sunday, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think it's just 2 different types of pressure, man. Yeah.
What do you think, Martin?
I don't get the momentum thing with City. We've drawn a couple of games. Everyone's having a cry. It is what it is. For me, the pressure's on City.
So you don't think that there is a little bit of a worry about City now after the
There's
Real
a
Madrid
worry,
result?
The meltdown is way over the top. The last time, before Real Madrid, the last time we lost a game was January 20th, which was 2 months ago. Pep Guardiola won February Manager of the Year, Manager of the Month. This meltdown, this City in crisis has gone way out of hand. It's gone way over the top. Because unfortunately, we're in a league where you draw a game, the pressure mounts. I think that's where the meltdown and the hoo-ha and everything else has come in. But I think City have the more pressure for different reasons. I won't go into them reasons because I know.
Oh, come on, Martin.
Go into
Why
them,
not?
yeah.
I'm not going to go into the reasons because everyone will have
With
a
the
party
vow
on it.
silence.
All the beans.
I actually think this is Pep's last chance to win a trophy, so I think that's why we'll do it. Because I do think Pep's going at the end of the season. So I think this is where the pressure comes for Pep. Look at Mo there. Look at Mo there. He's like party poppers are ready to roll in here.
What? What?
Yeah, I think Pep will go at the end of the season.
Why? Why do you think that? Okay, just for your, I was recording a show, so I was searching all the videos like ESPN, and I was searching everybody, and everyone thinks exactly what you think. They think, even the American pundits, they think that Pep is leaving at the end of the season.
It's coming out from the local media here in Manchester now as well. It's getting quite. I think they've already lined up the next guy. I think there's going to be big changes come the summer. I think there'll be 10 or 12 players potentially leaving the summer.
Oh, Arteta chased him out of the league. Damn.
No, I just think. Well, you've got to call it that. I know this is how your AFTV extra channel will run it. I get that. I know how your AFTV2 will run that narrative. You and Hassan will run that all day long. I get it.
You guys.
I'll be honest
listen,
with you.
Hamza ran it. That Pep chased Klopp out of the league. Hamza ran it.
You listen to Hamza. That's the problem.
You gotta run it for the longest, bro. For the longest, all the City fans. Jay, by the way, Jay. You know Jay as well. Jacob. Jay said it. Jay said that Pep chased Klopp out of the league. So we gotta run it. We have to run it.
Hey, listen.
Or is it Michael Carrick if he gets second? Wow.
Oh, yeah, Michael Carrick's running Pep Guardiola out of the league. And Man United not learned about a 5-minute manager yet. They've done it 5 times in a row. Jesus. They get excited when a new manager has 5 minutes of fame at that place now. They'll be calling him out in 6 months when they'll give him the full time.
What about? I know that you have given up on the. I know that you have given up a little bit on the league. You said Arsenal have to falter for you to win the league. Like it won't be. It's not in your hands anymore.
I actually think that part. From what I've heard, I think that's part of the reason. I think some players know Pep's gone. And I think they've not down tools. I think the mentality part of it's gone with some of them. I think Sunday's massive for us. We have to go there and just give it our all. I don't want Pep to go. Listen, I hope he signs a 3-4 year deal and stays because I don't want the guy they're talking about, if I'm honest with you. Jesus. No thanks. Listen, if Enzo Maresca walks into Manchester City, Jesus, people will know.
Martin, would you take Vincent Kompany?
In a heartbeat. I'd take any of them.
I think it will work.
So I'm thinking like if you're knowing your owners and the way they behave and knowing Pep, like the way Pep is, even though you might, I mean, it's a personal thing. You think he's going to leave at the end of the season, but let's just assume, let's live in a world where he wants to leave. I'm sure he'll recommend some certain people. And if he says Vincent Kompany, I want to believe
that's not the one he's recommended.
I'm just saying.
Peps.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
who is he recommending? Who is he?
I don't know. I don't know who he's recommended, but I'm just saying that if he recommends Vincent Kompany, I trust your ownership to actually go get him.
I don't think Kompany. Listen, I want Kompany one day. I have fear on Kompany. I think, for one, I'm not going to disrespect Bayern Munich like Bayern Munich is some stepping stone into Manchester City here. Bayern Munich are a massive football club, and I think Kompany wants to do that job properly before he winds up. I think he will be at Manchester City. I think it's destined to be club captain, club legend, statue outside the stadium. It's written in the stars for him to come back and manage. I don't want him after Pep. because I don't want any. I think it'll be one of the hardest things to get round to come after Pep because of the fan base and the expectation. It's just, and Dial, you know this after the Wenger scenario and Ferguson after when Fergie left. You don't just walk into that and go, oh, I'll do the same job. He's won, 16, 18 trophies in 10 years. No one is ever going to do Pep Guardiola ever again at Manchester City and even in probably football. What I don't like at the minute is the disrespect that's been given to Pep Guardiola right now. He's been talked about like he's some washed up, finished, tired old, has-been. And for me, and I'll be honest with you, I think he deserves to go on his own merit. I think he's earned that right to go when he wants. If he doesn't feel he can do that last year, then respect to him and he'll get the send-off that he deserves. But Maresca, listen, if Maresca's the guy, I'm 100%, I'll back him, I'll be behind him. But that's the noises coming out at the minute that Pep will leave and Maresca will come in.
So for the cup final, do you think that Arsenal are favorites or City are favorites? Because I don't know. I'm in between.
How can you say that, Mo? It's Arsenal, just even based on their form. They've hardly got any
so there
injuries.
are two ways to look at it.
City aren't losing, Mo. City aren't exactly losing games. Arsenal, this may be one of them.
I'm gonna tell you. Anyone got Jim himself. I'm gonna tell you what I think, guys. Okay, this is my opinion. Okay, based on, I think that City are gonna be hungrier for that game in terms of like they want to go to that game. City will be hungrier for that particular game. Because of what happened in the Champions League, because of the rumors, because Martin is not... Guys, Martin doesn't invent stuff. I'm telling you that. Martin has always been... He's from Manchester. He reads the local news and he has the feeling of the city and all the things that happen in the club. So if the club is feeling that Pep is leaving or might leave, I think the club is going to go more hungry than Arsenal. The reason why I think Arsenal are going to be way more calmer in this game. Why? They have one hand on the Premier League. They are in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. There are a lot of things that are happening at Arsenal that are besides the Cup. I know that people are saying the Carabao Cup and they have to win it and first trophy and stuff like that. I'm not saying that Arsenal will not be hungry, but they will be way more calmer than City, right? It's not the end of the world, right? That's my opinion. They're going to be hungry for a trophy and everything. But my fear is City are going to overdo it. City are going to be overthinking this game. Pep Guardiola is going to want to win it so much that they're going to be over the top. They aren't going to be focused. They aren't going to be concentrating enough that they're going to be so more excited than enough. And maybe that will play because we know that some of these cup finals, the more calm team, actually, normally they execute their plan, their coach's plan. That is my fear. In terms of players, if you're asking me who has the better team now without Gay, it's Arsenal. Right? It's Arsenal. Haaland is not scoring goals. Gay is not playing for City. Diaz is out of form currently. Kozanov is playing very well, but he's young. He's inexperienced. I think Arsenal have more experience. And also Arsenal don't lose. Like Arsenal don't lose games. They lost 3 games only this season. 3 games only this season. That is my analysis of the final. This is what I think. I think that City will be hungrier than Arsenal, in my opinion, for this game.
I think that if you're using the word hunger, that's why I said I think it's different types of pressure. A team that hasn't won in 22 years is most likely more hungry than the guy who just won 2 years ago, than the guy who has been at the top for the last 10 years, literally. Someone who has never had a taste of it, who now finally are in it. The Carabao Cup is one of those cups that Arsenal only has 1 of or 2. I think we only have 2 of it in our history. We haven't won the Carabao Cup a lot of times. So I think it's an opportunity for us again to actually go there and do what we normally do at Wembley, which is keep a calm head, play City at their game, try to get a nick. We know that defensively we're better, lean on our strength, and just walk out of there with a stinky 1-0. I don't care. Because in the final, you can't predict what will happen. It could go either way. You can only put yourself in the best position to actually try to win the game. And if you're talking about hunger, I think somebody who hasn't won anything major outside the FA Cup 6 years ago in 22 years is hungrier than the person who is having to deal with, oh, is my manager leaving? Or, what do I need to do in this game to be able to, I've had 2 losses with with Madrid, and I drew 2 games with West Ham and teams I should not be drawing with, and now I just need to get my mentality back. I think the person who finally is getting to the table to be able to eat and win something after 22 years is probably more hungry. So yeah, I get the City perspective, which I feel like
I think there's momentum on both sides, because what you just said, Dale, is 100% true. But then if this is Pep's last chance to win a trophy for Manchester City, there's also that momentum can go in as well. This could be the last time you lift it and go out, go out as a hero, blah blah blah.
But if Pep don't win it, but if Pep don't win it doesn't tarnish the record and the legacy he's built.
No, it will, Dio. No, that's where I disagree. Dio, honestly, mate, I don't know if you've seen it. A lot of our fan base are calling for Pep's head right now.
Those are listen, those people in your fan base, Martin, if you had the ability, just rally all of them together, put them in a room and gag their mouth so that they don't speak again. Because the legacy of Pep at Man
City, I can't go and shut up the YouTube channels now. Is that what you want me to do?
No, it's annoying. Like, I will never let anybody say anything crazy about Pep in front of me like that. Just because he's going out, if he goes out without a trophy.
Dale, do you know what I'm known as? I'm known as a
what is this? No. There's no taboo in football. I don't like this. I'm not about that. I'm not about that life.
I follow a cult. No.
I'm about that thing. I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Mo, if Pep was at your club, let me ask you a question, Mo. If Pep was at Inter and Pep did everything he did at City for you,
go on.
He won a treble, he won a Champions League, he did a 4-peat, and then in his last 2 seasons, he struggled to win the trophy and says, you know what, I think I need to leave. I think I'm done, right? Does that tarnish everything he's created for you?
No, of course not. No one said that.
But that's
hold on. If people that are saying that Pep must leave, that has nothing to do with his legacy. What are we doing here?
I'm saying
that has nothing to do with his legacy. Everyone, the clubs stay. Unless you're saying that Pep, okay, let me respond, please. Unless you're saying that Pep is bigger than Man City, I will accept that. With all due respect, if there is a Man City fan that doesn't believe that Pep can take the team back up to win the leagues, and they believe that there is another manager out there that is better suited, I don't know, maybe that's their belief. Yeah, it's their right to say if he doesn't win the Premier League.
Martin said there's a people in his fan base that are calling for Pep's head and saying it will affect his legacy if he doesn't win the trophy. That's what I'm saying. So I told him, I said, I don't agree.
No, as I said, I get called a Pep sexual and I'm following a cult.
Yeah, but Pep has a legacy. Pep has a legacy and everything. But no one is. You do not get to stay at any club based on merit. You do not.
No, but the thing is, hang on, just on that, Mo, you got to remember this: the board ain't going to sack Pep.
Yeah.
If you read the reports and everything, it's Pep's decision. This.
As it should be.
This is not a sacking scenario. This is your crap. Get out. This is very similar, right? I say what Klopp did, the way Ferguson went out. You go out on your sword. You go out the way you want.
Pep is one of the all-time greats. You don't sack one of the all-time greats. Unless you're Chelsea, maybe. But apart from that,
Morak could get Pep to sit down and go, "Here's a 4-year deal. Sign it." They'd bin the Maresca stuff off tomorrow. This is not a club thing. This is a Pep decision. That's what we're now being told. This is on Pep.
This is a very similar situation to Alex Ferguson in 2004, 2005, when you had a certain section of the fan base saying that maybe he's past it, maybe he should end it, maybe he should leave now. And I just think he's having a bad time at the moment. Sometimes he's rebuilding the team, isn't he? I mean, that's what I've been hearing. He's
but the crazy thing is, to me, a bad time, cup finals and second, is a bad time.
I know exactly.
For the tools he's been given, yes. Okay, if he fumbles the league, if he gets knocked out by this by Real Madrid, it's not a bad time, but for the tools he's been given, probably yes.
No, but I don't buy the money thing.
Probably yes. Because he's been given every single tool.
No, he hasn't. Echeverri and Victor Hayes and James Trafford are not every single tool.
Donnarumma, Semenyo, Gehi, Reinders, Shirky, Nico Gonzalez.
Mo,
Nico, Nouri. What are we doing here?
right? Mark Gay.
Marmouche.
Mark Gay has been here 7 weeks.
And you've gone backwards.
Have we gone backwards?
You gone backwards when Mark Gay says
He just won the manager of the month. How's that going
and then
backwards?
he faltered it. It's a 1 month, great 1 month then?
What are you talking about?
Why didn't he play Mark Gay? Why didn't he play Mark Gay against
sorry,
Real Madrid?
Mo, your dusty football club has gone backwards. That's the version of going backwards.
The difference between me and you. The difference between me and you, I can sit here and admit that we've gone backwards.
Yeah.
But you don't want to. I can sit here and say that if my manager is given the same tools as Pep, getting knocked out, being humiliated against Real Madrid like this, that's not acceptable for Pep Guardiola.
But Mo, when you say not acceptable, like even if you're the best manager in the world and the best manager in history, you can allow a season or two off, right? Sometimes you need to take 2 steps back to make 4 steps forward. Like if Pep was to stay, I have no hesitation saying that I think he'll be up there challenging, you know, in the next year, 2, 3 years. I don't think he's finished necessarily, unless he wants to be finished. Only he knows, right? You need to have a certain amount of motivation. But just because he doesn't win the league last season and he doesn't win the league this season, I think it's really, really harsh to say he's done.
So do you think Pep is going to come back and do you think, anybody here, do you think that Pep is going to come back next season and win the league if he stays?
I wouldn't rule it out at all.
He can. I think potentially he can. I think when Alex Ferguson, as my guy there was saying, he went 3 years without winning a title or winning anything major. And I think sometimes you need, as my guy said there, you need a little bit of time out to rebuild, to reevaluate things. I think he can. I definitely think he can. I think he could bounce back. He's got the personality, and he probably have the players in that he requires as well. So I think he can. I wouldn't write him off. Absolutely not. He's a fantastic manager.
Do you know what it is for me? I think City will have a big change anyway in the summer. I think there'll be a big...
let me do this. Okay, let me do this. If the team is struggling under Pep, what does it make it to bring a manager playing the same style but not at Pep level? A very good argument. If this team is struggling playing that style of football, but I will respond to this.
There's going to be a different team next season. I'll be honest with you. I think Rodri's gone next season. I think there'll be a lot of change about to happen. Because the news I'm hearing as well, Elliot Anderson, sorry to the Man U fans, I think Elliot Anderson will be in quite soon. They're making moves on Tonala. They're going to revamp that whole midfield out, which I think they need to do, because for me personally, I think our defence is great. Forward line, once we get it clicked, the midfield's the problem right now. Our midfield is a little bit of a problem. Don't you think
that's down to Pep Guardiola when he was isolating Rodri in the number 6 rather than playing Nico Gonzalez and Rodri together?
I think he's playing Rodri to get him sign a new contract. I think that's what he's been doing with Rodri, to get him on a new contract. The trouble is with us, we're going to lose Bernardo Silva in the summer. Rodri's likely to go in the summer. Stones is going in the summer. Nathan Ake is likely to go in the summer. James Trafford's likely to go in the summer because he's not playing. Kovacic is likely to go. We're going to lose up to about 10 players in the summertime. So we're going to need to replace. Now, some we already have. I think Mamouche will be gone in the summer. The Mamouche signing, I don't think is a Pep player. I don't think Mamouche has ever been a Pep style player. And Mo told me that when I spoke with Mo the week before Mamouche signed, and Mo said to me, he's not a Pep player. And he didn't get the sign.
You know what I think is actually this recent kind of batch of transfers that City've done, I don't think many of them are necessarily Pep players, right? Like I know Donnarumma's done okay, but he's like completely other end of the spectrum when you compare it to Edison, for example. I
think we're caught in the devil in the deep blue sea. We've got half the squad that want to play the Pep tiki-taka, and then we've got half the team that want to play the quick long ball transitional football, which actually suits Haaland more. But the trouble is, I've been looking at it, when you look at it, and people going about the money and everything else, and I get it. We've actually spent 462 million in 12 months, but 115 of that was on kids or young players. 4 of them are out on loan. They're not even at City. They're on loan. Victor Hayes, we spent 38 million on. He's in Girona. Echeverri, Girona. Juma Bar, don't know where. I don't even know where Jim Bar is at the minute. And this is the problem we've got. James Trafford, we spent 30 odd million on. He's sat on a bench. So this money argument is great. Semenyo and Gueye, totally with you. Yes, they came in to improve. I don't think they'd have done Mark Gueye without the injuries. I think they got forced into the Mark Gueye signing. I think he's a brilliant signing. He's going to be amazing. But I think they'd have left Mark Gueye till the summer. It was the Gavardiol and Diaz injury that forced us into that. Because we couldn't go with Max Lane for the rest of the season and a title race. The simple fact is Arsenal have been over the season, have been better at the minute.
To go to Arsenal, yeah. I want to go to Arsenal because I want to speak about this.
They're going to get beat on Sunday. They're going to get beat on Sunday because we're going to beat them.
There's still Chelsea and there is the Spurs as well. And do we think that Arsenal, if they win this trophy, can they go into an era where they win multiple trophies, or do we think this season is just a one-off for Arsenal? That is a topic that people has been talking about as well. Is because of the style of play, and they say that teams are gonna come back and they play better football, and Arsenal don't play that, blah blah blah, all the stuff.
I remember it wasn't last season; it was the season before, and I think at that point you could see that Arsenal had built a really solid foundation, and I think they were at the time that I think maybe they were the last team left in the Champions League from England, or that they were there or thereabouts. And I'm going on into space on Twitter saying that, especially in Champions League, if you've got a solid defence, you have a chance. And people did laugh. But the point was that there is a psychological barrier that you have to overcome. But I think Arsenal have been there now for 4 years. I doubt very much that they drop off completely if they win the Premier League. They have physically solid, dominant, physically dominant players. I don't necessarily think that that's I can't see them dropping off. Will they go on and win multiple
with the new information?
I
actually think
that's not easy.
Arsenal can dominate based on the new information that Martin just said. If Pep leaves, I don't think there is any team that will come close to them unless City gets a Luis Enrique and they get like changes, as Martin is saying. But if City are gonna go into a transition for new manager, I don't think that Liverpool can challenge them. I don't think Chelsea are gonna be there. I don't think Man United. I think there is nobody to challenge Arsenal next season. If that is what Martin is saying is true, Rodri's going. They're gonna get a new man. I don't believe in Arne Slot. Even Liverpool fans don't believe in Arne Slot.
No. The point is, I know I'm talking about long term, but he came in his first season and he won the league.
It can happen. But there were circumstances that happened last season that I don't think it's going to happen in the Premier League. What Salah did last season is something that, unless you're going to tell me that Shirky is going to go and get a 50 GA in the season or something like this, Salah carried Liverpool last season attacking wise. He literally carried the team attacking wise because is Haaland going to be able to do what Salah did? I don't think so.
It is hard to return a title, It's why not many teams have done it.
I know that, but I'm looking at who is there. I'm Jim, looking from outside. You're looking from the championship, Jim. Who do you think?
I'm a neutral in this fight, yeah.
That was low.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in acceptance stage, guys. I'm in acceptance stage.
I really am milking this AFTV bit, aren't you? You're even popping at Tottenham now.
No, bro. Listen, for Spurs, I don't know. It's the Spurs are Spurs. Like, anyway, listen. It's going to be the funniest thing.
But like you're saying, Mo,
what do you think?
It's Arsenal's dynasty now to build if they can. I think there's like an expression there that super rich people say that making your first 5 million's the hardest bit, and I think getting that first title in this like latest era of football is the hardest bit for someone like Arsenal to do, because they're a different run club to those other clubs who have done it slightly different. I know even you could say Liverpool and them have some similarities, but I think Liverpool's fan base is just so enormous. They are in a slightly different sphere. But so they've got that Premier League title. And like you say, City, if Pep goes, are going to be on a 2 or 3 year transition stage. Liverpool might change manager again and be in a transition stage. Spurs aren't going to challenge them for anything, so they'll be in a different division. But I think Chelsea aren't in a spot to fly up and challenge them either. So it's Villa aren't there financially to challenge them. So it's their opportunity now. I'd say it's something they can't
So I'm
they
not
mess this
crazy
up, I think
then.
they'll always-
I'm thinking about it logically. I'm not crazy, right? People make me think.
So Mo, can
Go
I
ahead,
jump
go
in?
ahead. Let Jim finish. I just wanted
Okay,
to, because he's agreeing with me.
Yeah, and I think funny enough, I actually think the club moving in a direction where they could who can also seize this opportunity, not to win the title next year. I'm not saying that, but I think Man United also have a chance now to become a top 4 regular club again. And they've been waiting for that for a long time. And I think that is partly because of the other clubs transitioning out. They have a chance to slot back in there, get that Champions League revenue back on track and start to move in a direction. And Arsenal have a chance to become regular trophy winners season after season for a few years. That's my view anyway. Sorry, someone else was trying to talk.
No, I was saying like, so this building a team that is going to win consistently over many years was always the plan. And if you look at the last 2-3 years, if you look at how Arsenal, so we came back into the Champions League after maybe 10 years. We hadn't been in Champions League for like 10 years. We come back in, we go to the quarterfinal. The year after, we make it to the semi-final. That's progress for me. Like, and in that year after, you could see that we added a few players. In the summer, we brought in a proper sporting director who eventually got us 8 players in the summer. And there was a statement that Mikel Arteta made in the summer. I think it was Mikel Arteta or somebody from the club that made the statement publicly that said, we want to raise the floor and not the ceiling of the club, which is we want to build a squad where the gap between every player is not wide, where if Saka is out, Madueke can do a job. If Martinelli is messing up, Trossard can actually carry something in that time. If Odegaard is not good enough, Eze is good enough. In the back line is the same thing. Goalkeeper wise, I mean, we're talking about Raya and Kepa. Kepa is an amazing goalkeeper as far as I'm concerned. He could be a number 1 for any Premier League team. So again, I think this is
man, come on, bro.
No, when I said any, I didn't say top Premier League. I didn't say top.
I could talk.
You said any.
You said any team. This is
I didn't say any top Premier League team. I said any Premier League team. There's top teams. We know that. Like, this is why he's number 2 at Arsenal. For any Premier League team outside the top guys, he can be a number 1 for them. He can be Bournemouth. He can be Brentford. Like, I'm not saying he's the best goalkeeper. I'm saying Kepa is a goalkeeper. Just because you don't like him, you can say whatever. The years he kept.
So he's a Premier League goalkeeper.
Listen.
He won't get into the top 5.
The years that he kept for you are back in the day. Yeah. So you cannot use what he's doing now, right? What he's doing now, and judge him by the mistakes he made for Chelsea. I don't do that nonsense. I'm talking about what he's giving.
What's he done so far this season? Then that's impressed you that you can say he can play.
He's been our goalkeeper in all the cup tournaments. And guess what? He's conceded, 2 goals or 3 goals in all cup tournaments that he's been for Arsenal. In the Carabao Cup, he's been our goalkeeper up onto the final right now. In the FA Cup, he's been our goalkeeper. And he's kept in some of the Champions League games. I think 1 or 2 of them, the Carabao one. So what are we doing here? I'm not saying he's an amazing goalkeeper, but we can't just change topic. I'm talking about something different. You don't like Kepa, that's on you. Deal with that on your personal time. Yeah,
all I'll say is, I'll make sure you don't have Dublin.
I'll deal with it, my friend, when I've got time. I'll sit down and think about Kepa, about how fucking great he is.
No,
okay.
nobody said he was great.
All I'll say is,
sit down and
if you try and sub him on Sunday, he'll have a padder.
If I watch
I've seen that before, mate.
No, I'm not talking about Sunday's game. The
Bank Union slang.
Martin, the question I'm answering is Mo's question. Can Arsenal go on to be a dynasty in the future?
I can tell you what Kepa did, actually. Arsenal are in the Carabao Cup Final. Thanks, number 1, to Kepa Arrizabalaga, who kept him in the game, in the Brighton game, and had over about 8 saves or some kind of shit like this. If you guys remember the Carabao Cup game, really, if it wasn't for Kepa, Brighton would have actually been 1 or 2-0 up in the first half only.
So I think again, the environment dictates how certain.
But I'm not saying he's a great goalkeeper, Mark. I'm not saying that.
That's not what I said.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did say that, Mo.
I'm not saying that.
But he. My thing is the dynasty. To answer your dynasty thing, I think when you build a squad like this, you do stand a chance. Again, in the summer, there's rumors of us signing, good players. Julian Alvarez is on the books right now. We're hearing rumors about it. I don't look at rumors and I don't look at what they say, but if that's the quality and the standard of players that we want to bring in the summer, then I really feel like going forward, we can actually build that dynasty. If you're bringing in the quality of like the Julian Alvarez's and you're, strengthening your midfield again, and you're doing the right things, then of course you should be in and about winning consistently, even if it's just a cup double next season, even if you don't win the Premier League. But if you win the FA Cup and the Carabao next season, great. The year after, if you win the Premier League and maybe an FA Cup, great. The year after, if you win only the Premier League, fair enough. If you win the Carabao Cup, fair enough. But that's what it takes to be a team that consistently, have a deep squad and at least manage the time and manage the players properly.
Oh, fair enough.
Sorry, did you say Julian Alvarez?
Yeah, there's rumors about it. Like, you know how all these guys are.
Oh, he was the goal scorer.
That's not the point. I'm just saying the quality of that type of player. If that's the caliber of players you're looking at, then of course in the summer you're looking at bringing in players
on our bench.
So whether it's not a case of it's Julian Alvarez. I'm saying the quality of player, the caliber of player. If that's what Arsenal is looking at in the summer, then that tells you they want to build a dynasty. You can't harp on the Julian Alvarez.
You're not building a dynasty with Julian Alvarez. Man.
I'm not saying again. I'm not saying we're building with Julian Alvarez. I said the quality and
the whole dynasty thing is a bit over. Like, let's relax a little bit. They need to. They'll get over the line this season. They have an opportunity definitely to challenge for the Premier League in the next season. Like, dynasty talk is a little early, I think.
It is early. I'm just saying, like, if you're at this position, right, where you are in all 4 tournaments and you're managing yourself, and hopefully you're able to win maybe Carabao Cup and maybe the Premier League, even if that's all you win this season, and you go for top quality players in the summer, like you did last summer where we brought in 8 players. If you go for top quality players in the right positions, right, if those players are available and they want to come to Arsenal, then you're building something that is more or less in line with going after being a dynasty. If you get players that are worse than what you have, then you're losing out on, capitalizing on what you've built. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you lose a Saka next season, let's just say somebody comes for Saka, right? And you lose Saka and you lose Gabriel Jesus, and then you go and bring in some mid-table right winger. Of course, that's nonsense. Like, you've basically harmed yourself. But if you bring in somebody of quality, I'm not saying it happens, but maybe like a Barcola, PSG are willing to sell him, or maybe some, what I'm saying, like a player that is of that caliber, or higher, then of course you're trying to build a dynasty at that point.
Let me do this because we move on from this. For me, it's the Berta signings next season that will keep Arsenal in there 100%. Yep, it's definitely the Berta signings.
But one minute. But I know that someone mentioned about this, the sporting director, and Arsenal are top of the league, and that's why I think some of these signings that they made last summer haven't exactly torn the Premier League up.
That's not true.
They've added depth. All of them have torn the Premier League up.
No, it's not about tearing it up. It's the contributions they made. Do you know that 4 of our new signings this season are directly responsible for 50 of our goals out of 105 goals? The 4 signings, so Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, Eberechi Eze, and Zubimendi are responsible for 50 goals out of the 104-5 goals that Arsenal have scored this season. It's the contribution that they make to the squad. You guys are looking for, did they tear up the Premier League? No, Arsenal is not tearing up the Premier League. None of our players are going to be flashy, dazzy. None of our players are going to look that way. But what have they contributed? Mm-hmm. So those signings that Berta made are responsible for 50 goals out of 105. Sure. That tells you.
But I don't think anybody sits there and looks at any of them and thinks that they have had exceptional seasons.
No, they're not having exceptional seasons. Like I said, I don't care about what kind of season they're having. I care about the contributions you're making to the team. If a team has scored 105 goals and you're responsible for 50 of it, keep scoring those goals.
So 1 minute ago, you said they're responsible for 50.
Yes.
So you're talking GA, right?
Yeah, GA, goals and assists.
Okay. So let's first of all, if we're going to do this, then the numbers, we need to talk about numbers accurately, because some of those will be double counted. Some of them will be a Madueke assist for a Gyökeres goal, right? That's counting 2 numbers for 1 goal
in all competitions. What I'm saying, see, now we want to be
but if we're going to be accurate and talk about numbers, then we should be accurate and talk about numbers.
I'm saying Noni Madueke has scored 10 GA this season in all competitions, right? Eberechi Eze has scored 14 GA in all competitions. It doesn't matter if Eze passes. I'm saying each of those players have contributed something, and if you look at what each individual has contributed, so Gyökeres has contributed 17 GA in all competitions. Zubimendi has contributed 9 GA in all competitions. For me, it is, yes, you're not killing the game. You're not flashy. You're not dribbling 10 people. You're not doing all of that. You don't look nice to the eye. I get it. What are you contributing to this squad?
I'd argue none of them. I would probably say Zubimendi has been your most important player.
No, Nkapia has been fantastic for them.
Amongst the new players.
Nkapie has been actually
Nkapie's a
way
new
more
signing.
impressive than Zubamendi for me, actually. now.
Nkapie has been a new signing as well. Nkapie is a new signing. He just came this summer as well. So my thing is, I don't think Arsenal has our most impressive player or our best player in this squad. I think this team works for each other. I've not seen any one of them. Look, Declan Rice, as good as everybody's trying to make it seem, I think he only also is up in his game because of the way the team plays around him and the way he plays with the team. I think that this Arsenal team plays as a squad. This is the problem with Arsenal here. We don't have a one-off out-and-out goal scorer. Every outfield player in Arsenal and some of the sub-players have actually scored at least a goal or two. Arsenal this season have the most substitute players that have scored the most goals off the bench. So again, that floor raising is what I'm talking about, where we're finding a way to win the game. It's not working. Bring people off the bench, change the game, find a way to score a goal, and just stay in the game. Just stay in the game. And that's all that.
That's fine, but everyone's got that. City, you've got players all over the pitch. You've got loads of G&A in all comps. And a lot of the new players. I told you this last time. Reinders has got 15 G&A. Shaky's got 19 G&A. And those two are brand new players.
And that's a good thing. I'm agreeing with you. Martin, that's a good thing.
Phil Foden's got 15 G&A and he's had a crap season.
Listen, that's a good thing when you bring in a new player and they can contribute is what I'm saying. So when people ask me what have they contributed, I'm pointing out what they've contributed. You've just pointed out what Shirky has contributed, what Reinders has contributed. So I'm not trying to big them up. This is not a banter thing. This is me saying, here's what they've contributed to this team. 50 GA from all these 4 new players, which means Berta made the right signings, is all I'm saying.
But guys, isn't it like when you, I appreciate what you guys are saying, and like both of your squads got so much quality in it. But if you put, just say Gyökeres in, just say Spurs aside for the last 20 games, I don't think he'd have a goal. But you put him in Cities and he'd probably have 10. You know, what I'm saying is so much of how we analyze the quality and depth of a squad really is how good and settled that first team is that they're being a part of. So you can carry the weight of players that might not look very good on another side, and they'll look pretty good in a nice, settled, well-organised and well-drilled side. Man United's squad looked like bottom 5 quality only 15 games ago. Now they look like top 5 quality. And it just goes to show like how much the rhythm and everything else goes. And Spurs are similar, I guess, in the last 2 or 3 games. Everyone was saying, it doesn't feel like they're a relegation candidate at the moment based on the last 3 games anymore, when they felt dead certs a few games earlier. But I do think it's pretty hard to compare who's got but I think we go back to the old thing of Arsenal probably do have the most rounded squad in the league, and that's going to set them up consistently to.
By the way, I actually think that City squad is very close. I think Pep is misusing the squad. I'm just putting this out there.
I'm not sure.
I think Pep is misusing the squad. I'm just putting this out there.
I'm going to say this, Mo. Our squad 4 years ago, this squad right now is not.
No, but I'm comparing your squad this season to Arsenal's squad.
I'm comparing.
I'm not comparing this team to 4 seasons to the triple. I'm comparing. You have way more attack. I think your midfield is better than them on paper. Your attack is better than them on paper. I think their defense is better than you, but you have enough tools actually. And I think Pep is I think Pep's tactics is why City don't look as good. I think Pep.
I don't think our squad is as deep as it used to be.
I think it's actually deeper.
Like, we used to be able to bring on, like, you know, as much as I said, but we used to have Alvarez off the bench, Mahrez off the bench. That was the quality we were bringing.
Yeah, but that is the quality that nobody has.
But we don't have that anymore. But that's when we were winning this dynasty. This dynasty we were building, we had that off the bench. We were bringing £70 million, £80 million players off the bench. You'd won leagues and all sorts. You know, I just think it's harder now to build that squad. I don't think City or many will build that squad back again. Because unfortunately, there's not a KDB knocking around that you can get for 67.
Yeah,
they're not around.
Those quality of players are not readily available right now.
Yeah, they're not there anymore, unless you pay silly money.
Yeah, which is why you have to find a way to make your squad balanced and win. Arsenal has 17 different scorers this season, 17 out of a 24-man squad. 17 different players have scored for Arsenal this season in all competitions out of a 24-man squad. That tells you that we've decided, listen, this is how we're going to play. The goals will come from everywhere and anywhere, but we're a team that knows how to defend, and we're going to defend first. We've only lost 3 games in 49 games this season in all competitions.
I think this is not spoken about enough. Only
We've
3
only
games
we've only
lost,
lost
not
3
spoken
games.
about enough.
And those 3 games, please go and look at the goals. Szoboszlai wonder goal. Like, please, no keeper is saving that. Aston Villa, Buendia, wonder goal, smash volley, top bins. Nobody's saving that. Third goal, Matthias Cunha, Manchester United. Sal.
Don't forget Dorgu as well. Don't forget Dorgu.
Dorgu's goal and Cunha's goal were 2 amazing goals. The only people that have beat us have had to beat us that way, which is why I'm saying we're a more balanced squad. We're not world class. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're the best team, but we're a difficult team to break down. We're a very difficult team to break down.
I know that Martin has to go, and I know that Rex has to go. Let me just do this quickly. For me, it is Berta signing next season. We did that one. Yeah, for the other one, I know what you said about the quadruple and Arsenal are a young team to actually ready to win next season. I actually agree that Arsenal are a very young team, and they can actually, what about Arsenal, same potential one off, still young team and been challenging for the last 4 seasons. This is why I think Arsenal may be ready to get a dynasty, my man. Touchline, thank you so much. I don't know, thank you for the donation. I don't know what is this message about, but thank you so much for sending the donation. You didn't need to do that, my man. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Empty saying the signings have contributed majorly to where Arsenal is right now. Does not mean they are world class. That is what Dayo have explained. They haven't exploded, but they are doing all right. I think the signings, some of them are doing all right. I don't think
Arteta wants to build a team that has players that explode. That's an Arteta thing.
Because Brack, I know you're gonna go.
Correct. Yeah, that's by choice and design by Mikel Arteta. And I think the ownership have agreed with him, and that's how they want to play. And so it is what it is. We're going back to the days of 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Right.
Boring Arsenal. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
As long as you're winning something with it. If you're not winning with it, hey, boom.
Do you know when you know you've got a good squad? And Ferguson was the master of this. Is when you go into a window and you buy 1 or 2 at most top players. That's when you know you got a squad. You're going into a summer and you're buying 5, 6 players, then you know there's something wrong.
That's such a good point.
There's something not going on there. And that's the difference. So where I think Arsenal are, where Arsenal and City are a bit different. City have to go out and buy 4 or 5 players this summer. Arsenal probably need 1 or 2.
We bought 8 in the summer then. So if there's a problem that we bought 8 in the summer and we found it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Hold on. But Martin, if going by what you said, if a team has to go out and buy 4 or 5 players, there's a problem there. And then you bring in 8 players in the summer, and you find a way to balance all 8 players and build a squad that is in all 4 competitions.
I don't think that
at this late stage, hold on, at this late stage of the season,
you don't just do that and click. I talked about Slot earlier. Slot did it because he was. And there's no disrespect on Slot. I think he did very well. He was generally dealing with Klopp's players. He brought Chiesa and nothing else. This summer, he's going to spend half a bill, his players, and he's struggling to integrate them.
But then, but I'm saying the same thing to you. So that was Slot's side. On Arteta's side, he bought 8 players. 8. There's a difference. Slot bought 4. Arteta bought 8 in the summer and have found a way this season, since they've all come in Nkapie, Mosquera, Kepa, like you can list all of them. Madueke, like we had 8 players.
But what I'm saying is you were buying backup players.
How many were starters? That was squad padding. That wasn't like an overall. Yeah,
let him
explain. Let him explain. Before you respond, let him explain.
Mo. Don't.
I want to hear the total points so you can respond.
I'm going by the statement he made. He said if a team goes out to buy more than 4 or 5 players, there's a problem there. And I said, okay, I agree with you. That's a good thing. Like, it's a problem. We can identify that. If it's 1 or 2, that's a good squad. Fair enough. I'm saying, okay, kudos to Mikel Arteta for bringing in 8 players. And when you say that we bought backup players, no, Zubimendi is our starting 6. He just came this summer. Yoker is our starting 9. He just came this summer. We literally have players on the pitch who just came this summer.
True. Everybody else is squad building. That's squad building, Dale. The point I'm making with City is, we're going to lose, for example, Rodri, first teamer. Bernardo, first teamer. You now have to go and buy first team levels. But with due respect to a Kushinov's going to be world class, but to a Kushinov, to a Victor Hayes, then they're squad building. That's not like for like your first 11s. Churka. So the three we bought was Donnarumma, Churka, Reinders. He's not even a first teamer. He's literally being dipped in and out at the moment.
Yeah, because
Nico
Guardiola can't
G
use
hasn't
him.
played.
That is not. That is because Guardiola can't use him. That's
Yeah,
different.
but hang on, but Nico
Okay, so
G hasn't
four
played
of
for
the
7 weeks.
four of the eight we bought are starters. I don't know why we're doing this. 4 of the 8 players that Arsenal bought. Eze has been a starter. Hincapié has been a starter. Zubimendi has been a starter.
Anfield fan base wanted Desi out 2 weeks
I
ago.
don't care about what the fan base wants. We're talking about starting players. Don't change the topic, Martin. Don't talk about what the fan base wants.
Don't be disingenuous with what you're saying.
You said when you buy players, we're talking about buying starting players and players that are off the bench. We're not talking about what the fan base wants. I don't care what the fan base wants. That's a different conversation. This conversation is about how many starters did we buy? 4 of the 8 are starters, literally for Arsenal. So when you say we were buying players for the bench, that's not true. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter whether you buy 8 or 2 or 3.
You name your 4 players. Name the 4 starters.
Eze, Gyökeres, Hincapié, and Zubimendi. Those 4.
Is Eze a starter
No,
for
I'm
Arsenal?
not having
Eze's
Eze
not a
as a
starter for
starter.
Arsenal.
No, don't do that.
Eze's not a
You're being
starter.
disingenuous.
Eze has played more games than Odegaard this season. Yes or no?
Because he's been injured.
No. The
Yeah.
question is, well, he's been starting. Is he a starter? Has he been starting? Yes or no? Who's been on
If
the
Odegaard
floor?
was fit, would he have started,
But-
Dale? Yes or no?
But Odegaard is not. So Eze has been a starter regardless of how you want to say it. The point is, this season, you can only go by what we see on the pitch. Eze
Right,
has
no,
been a
Dale,
starter.
the reason I'm explaining it is Nico G played when Rodri was injured. When Rodri's fit, Rodri goes back in, Nico G goes to the bench.
I'm not talking about that. You're asking who starters are that we bought this summer, and I'm listing them. Hincapié
This
has
is
been
not a starter
this
for me.
season.
Sorry.
Eze has played in all competitions a lot of games, more than he's ever played at Crystal Palace, at Arsenal. Go check the amount of games he's played, and not just coming off the bench. We're talking starter, like starting games. So let's not do this.
Is he in your
idea
best
that
11? Is Eze in your best 11?
Our current form, yes, in the current form that we're at right now.
So if you wrote out Arsenal's best starting 11, Eze would be in it.
Right now, Eze is our second highest goal scorer in all competitions.
But if you wrote out Arsenal's strongest starting 11, the best, everyone's fit, is Eze in it?
Like I said, if everybody's fit, I'd put him in. The way I would set it up, I would play the
Who
way
would
I
you
would set it up.
who would you put him in the place of?
I would play Declan Rice. I'd play Odegaard and Eze. I'd play Dec in the 6. I'd play Odegaard and Eze as 2 creators, and then I'd play my forward line the way I want to play my forward line. That's how I would play it. I would not depend on, like, I love Zubimendi. I loved what he gives to us. But again, that's who I would, because again, for me, Zubimendi is a new player from another league. Eze is a player from the Premier League that has played against these teams, and I expect him to be able to hit the ground running. So I would have trusted him more as a manager than I would have Zubimendi, because I'll need to get Zubimendi.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's the way I look at it. So again, but these 4 have started a lot of games for us. So my point
So
is that,
Zubimendi, you'd drop then, basically. You'd have him on
yeah,
the
in
bench.
certain games, yes. In certain, like I would, because if I wanted more creativity, then I've got Odegaard and Eze playing.
Fair
you
enough.
know, and Eze plays well in that left channel, and I play him in that left channel. I'll play Odegaard in the right channel, and I'll play Declan Rice right behind them. You know, and
It's a good problem to have. I wish I had that problem. Yeah.
yeah, if Deck needs to rest, then I'll bring in Zubimendi. You know, but again, I'm not saying that buying 2 players in the summer that's a good thing. That means your squad is good, and you just need to add 1 or 2. But again,
And
if
that's
you
all you need for me in the summer.
but if
Dale.
you're
I'm
able
giving
to
you
buy-
a compliment.
No, I'm not saying you're not giving me. I'm saying if you're able to buy 8 and you can actually make those 8 work, and 4 of them are starters, then kudos to the manager for being able to make, because I didn't expect it to work. I didn't expect all these guys to hit the ground running. I didn't expect 4 of our new signings to contribute more than 50% of our goals this season. It wasn't in the books for me, you know.
Yeah. Moving on from this, guys, to the title contenders, Chelsea, of course, second in the table. They popped PSG off the park. They popped Barcelona off the park. Bro, what is going on? What is going on? Are Chelsea faltering?
That's an understatement, Mo. Like, it's just an understatement.
Because I want to ask something, everyone in the chat. Do you guys think that Liam Rosenior is completely out of his depth and he shouldn't be managing Chelsea whatsoever, and he has no idea what he's doing? Anybody can answer this? I can answer, but I can do.
I think they got the wrong young manager. I think they should have got Fabregas instead. I think Chelsea should have got.
He
him
wouldn't have
instead.
come to Chelsea though if he doesn't have any
He's
control
fourth in
over the
Coma.
map. Yeah, I would love to have him, right? But he's not going to come to a club where you've got no control over like signings and outgoings, and you're just a yes man. I don't even feel like Rossini even has control over his actual squad, who he's actually allowed to use. Fabregas is not coming there.
Yeah. The problem is not Liam Rossini.
You want Maresca back? Please tell me you want Maresca back.
No.
I'm trying to get Maresca off the market. Sorry.
Yeah. The problem is not Rossini. The problem is the way Chelsea has been run as a club. It's going to be hard to get the right type of manager. You can't run a club and say, first and foremost, we have a salary cap. That means that you're putting yourself in a position where you can't get top players to come there, because no top player wants to take 150 a week and then say, oh yeah, I have to get bonuses to prove myself. That's number one. You're not going to get Victor Osimhen, take that. You're not going to get top players from any other league, take that kind of wage. So you're going to end up with players that you can afford in that wage range and the best skill set that they have. That's number one. Number two, I heard that your medical team has, autonomy over the players and how they should play and when they should play. Like, they can recommend to the manager that this player should not play. That is a terrible thing. They should be working with the manager to find out, because again, the manager knows what kind of player he needs against the type of team he's playing against. I think your whole system and method is the issue and not Rossini. Because if Rossini is given a free hand and they allow him play the players he wants to play and he makes his mistakes, we saw with Maresca. Maresca eventually, came good. He won you guys 2 trophies. Maresca popped PSG out of the park at the FIFA World Cup thing. Maresca did all that, and just because he was asking for certain things, they kicked him out. That system is not going to work. It's literally a system where you're buying young players, you're hoping that they get good, and then you're going to just turn them around and sell them. And to bring a manager from one of your franchise clubs again, like you take him from one franchise club and bring him to the bigger club. Chelsea, it's just a bad business model. That's the issue with Chelsea right now. It's a very bad business model.
Are these players overrated though, guys?
No,
are these players overrated?
A lot of these Chelsea players may not get their bonus this year if they don't hit the benchmark that they're supposed to hit. Remember this, they signed in for 8-9 years at 150, and unless they get certain things, they don't get that bonus. So players like Cole Palmer will be losing out on money when he can go somewhere else and earn 250 a week and still get a bonus. And this is the painful part for Chelsea. And unless the fans actually identify it and say this is what it is and accept that this method is not going to work, no. Because again, things like that will worry the morale of a player. The whole team is not doing well. We're 7th position, we're 6th position, we're not going to reach our benchmark. I'm not going to get my bonus. Why should I play for this club? Like, what am I doing here? And I'm going to be here for 8 years. Like really and truly. And then you change the manager and you bring me Rossini. Is this what we're doing? Like you get rid of Maresca and bring in Rossini. Like, I think it's just yeah.
What do you think, Mark?
Actually, you know what? I don't like agreeing with Arsenal fans, but he actually hit the nail on the head. It is actually spot on. It is actually spot on. I mean, for me, I just think it really is like just an end of an era. I think we have 0 serious title challenges in 4 years, 0 Champions League contention in 4 years. We've lost every big game pretty much, especially under the new manager. We've lost every big test. We've got 14 conceded goals in the last 5 big games. We even lost to Newcastle at home for the first time in 14 years. It's the end. For me, it's like the end of Chelsea, to be honest. Like that Chelsea that won, that Chelsea that competed, that elite standards that, Abramovich has had enforced on the team and the club, that's all finished. Bluco have come in and just taken over. They've had a winning machine, proven to win, and they've just pissed all over it, and they've done their own little project where, we're going to buy a bunch of young players and this and that and only have a salary cap of 150. Out of all those players, we've had one jewel. I think we've signed like 60 players. The one jewel that we found is Cole Palmer. And the last two seasons or season and a half, he's been average. He's been rubbish. Mate, you can blame him on injuries or whatever. Caicedo. You ask who's are we overrating the players? Well, no, Caicedo is still a brilliant player, but you paid 115 million for him. Enzo Fernandez is starting to come good last couple of seasons. Okay, 105 million. Okay. But they're gonna leave. Just like my Arsenal guy said. I've been saying that as well. I've been actually saying it's going to be interesting when Chelsea don't make Champions League, what is going to happen to the players when they don't get their bonuses. I've been saying that. You can see an exodus. That could happen. Then what? Well, look at what's happening with Enzo Fernandez. Now he wants more money, understandably, because as the Arsenal guy said, he can easily go to Real Madrid or PSG and get paid 2-3 times without bonuses. It's just not a good time to be.
What would you say about your team then? I mean, I would say that you got about 4 or 5 very good players.
That's it. I agreed.
Other than that, I don't think you really got anyone that I would look at and think, well, I mean, I know Garnacho. I think Garnacho, I think he's useless, to be honest. But
he is useless.
Yeah,
but what can I say? Mean, you're exactly right. We've got those 4 or 5 players. The rest of them are below average, and you can't do anything. We're actually lucky to be where we're at, trying to fight for the top 5. Yeah, it's just going to go downhill now. The only way that I see a change, is if there is a big protest, not just from the fans, but from the players. There's a big exodus. That's the only way that I can see potentially they'll be like, yo, this American tactical, this American strategy of doing this money ball where you're looking on the internet or you're looking at stats. Oh, let's just buy the best stats. It doesn't always work like that. And that's proven now. So
I'm not sure Cole Palmer will stay, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors that he's...
I've heard he's homesick. He's not overly
he's homesick
anymore.
Yeah, he's always down Manchester, going to local games. Yeah, he's
only because I know someone who knows the family and he's desperate to get back. But I mean, it's going to take a huge thing.
Guys, how did he go from Chelsea being title contenders to this within some months? Don't tell me it's the manager thing. My Man United hired Michael Carrick. My Man United hired Michael Carrick. And Man United didn't go and get Jurgen Klopp. Like Man United got Michael Carrick. They didn't get Jurgen Klopp.
Well, Man United have a different way of running their club. Their players are earning what they want to earn. These players are happy. These players are in a position where they're at the club where, okay, fine. I mean, like if you look at Chelsea players, some of them feel like we're better than what we're earning. We're better than where we're at right now. And we're going to be stuck here for the next 6, 7, 8 years. As a player, that will affect your morale. I don't care what anybody says. And then when you want to bring a manager, instead of bringing a top manager that will inspire me, even though I'm already on this death row record deal that I have with you, you bring me a Rosinha. Yeah, Michael Carrick, again, he's played for Manchester United. So there will be that nostalgia with the players. I watched you play for this club. And you've got players there who are like, hey, okay, he's back. Let's work with him. That in itself.
They've done that, Dial. They did that with Lampard. They've done all the former legend come back.
I know, but even when they did it, I'm saying the way the club is run. So bringing in a former legend, but not addressing the pay structure, the medical team being the one that picks the team for the manager and deciding what players are available week in, week out, regardless of how they perform in training.
You're not filling me with confidence on Maresca, Dial, by the way.
No, Maresca left because of that. You know what? Maresca said, I want these players, I want this. They said, no, Maresca left. They didn't fire Maresca. He left.
He had a win rate. He had a win rate of about 50. Was it 50% or whatever it was?
Yeah, but with all the shackles put on his hand, you can only play with James.
Can I ask you guys something? Should Chelsea be stripped of the titles that they won?
Why?
Anyway, I'm gonna go because I know where this is.
There we go.
This is my exit.
This is just
now.
random talk. See you later, Jose.
Where's that
What are you
coming?
saying? No,
I just got sent.
Yourself.
I just got sent the question.
By who?
I'm not even going to respond.
If you people, it's just people. It's if Chelsea, if you get a player that is you shouldn't get, should that title count?
Oh, because of the secret.
Honest answer.
Agent payments and stuff like that.
I want to, like if financially you shouldn't have been able. Okay, so here is the other argument that I heard. Man United were supposed to sign Hazard, and then Chelsea came in. Okay, that's what happened, and he went to Chelsea. Yeah. Okay, what at that time the news were he felt more comfortable that his future is at Chelsea. Apparently, it was the money that was paid to his agent that he joined Chelsea. So if Hazard contributed, Mark, I'm not lying here. This is
yeah. This is true. That's exactly true. However, there are more.
So let me continue then. So if Hazard contributed to the title that Chelsea won, and Chelsea building more team and still in Hazard and getting play, that's what Sam Jordan said. So Hazard, they sold him. They got the Havertz. They got the other players as well. if the Hazard butterfly effect doesn't happen, maybe Chelsea won't win these titles.
Well,
Maybe it was supposed to be Man United then.
Yeah,
Well,
Chelsea wouldn't have won
I'd say
any.
Spurs came second to Chelsea under Conte.
Hang on, how far back we're going?
We're owed one.
It's not Martin, it's not me. It's not that's the argument between 2012, is it 2011, 12, 2018. These are the payments that Chelsea made that weren't reported. And the Hazard one is the most important one because Man United were linked to him and suddenly he went to Chelsea.
Okay, then so should I
That's just linked to him, though.
back over to George Graham bungs?
No, I don't know.
George
I don't
Graham.
know. I'm asking the question, Martin. I don't know.
An allegation of George Graham.
I don't know. By the way, I swear to God, I don't want to go to George Graham. We're talking about the Chelsea. Let's stay on course. I don't know the right answer. I don't know what is the right answer here. I don't know what is the right answer. I actually have no idea.
Let me tell you something. An Arsenal owner, Sir Henry Norris, back in the day, was accused of bribing Arsenal from League 2 to League 1. We came fifth, and that he bribed to get into League 1. Like that's what the accusation was. When this guy, when this guy was found, this same guy, Sir Henry Norris, approaching the player and trying to bribe the player to come play for Arsenal. Sir Henry Norris was banned back then from football in 1927. The Arsenal owner was banned from football. And
I don't want to bring this to Arsenal.
No. Okay. I'm talking. He did the similar thing that you did with he bribed the player's agent to get a player to come to Arsenal, and he was banned. We're talking about the same thing with Chelsea. They're bribing agents. They're getting players.
So the question is, so they did the same for Chelsea. So Chelsea are fined 10 million, which is a lot.
That's a slap on the wrist.
Okay,
so they're banning people. So why have you changed the law now? Why have you changed the punishment for the exact same thing? Bribing players and bribing agents of players to come play for you. With another team that the owner was banned from ever participating in football. He had to sell all his shares and rights and leave football totally. Now it's Chelsea's turn and they're getting a smack on the wrist. 10 million for a club of Chelsea size, and he suspended, whatever it is. Like you can't buy players, but he's suspended.
So what do you think? So what do you think should be the punishment before I ask everyone else?
I think the punishment should have just been like, it should be major points deduction right now. Like, even if I don't care if you don't want to take their trophy, don't take their trophy. That doesn't concern me. It's tainted in my eyes. I will always look at the trophies won in that period as tainted now, because again, they were found guilty of the charge and they're paying a fine for it. So in my mind, they did it. And if you did it, I see it as tainted. I would not say take the trophies away, but I'll say put an asterisk on it, and you should give them points deduction. They should get some
Martin. Martin, what do you think, Martin, for Chelsea? What do you think is the right way?
I don't believe it's hard for me. I don't believe anyone should be getting. Listen, they get the punishment, get the player. We start going back of stripping titles and everything else.
Okay,
that's going to open the biggest.
So, what do you think should happen then? If Chelsea are found guilty, then they are found guilty already. They reported themselves. By the way, I'm just going to say it is no fault of the current owners.
Yeah, they've obviously got the youth ban and whatever it is, and yeah, I get it. To me, he's done dusted. How much do you want from me?
I actually think Chelsea should be, in my opinion, the right punishment for me is Chelsea should stop. That's my punishment for this. Chelsea should start at least two seasons with 5-point deduction each season, or 10, and maybe get a transfer ban for one season. That's my thing. Stripping titles, I don't think Chelsea should do that for one reason. Because at the end, Chelsea won it on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't, like,
yeah,
I think that.
Yeah, that's my point. You win it on the pitch.
I think, but I'm not sure. But I think there should be a harsher punishment in terms of, like, okay, they need a transfer ban now for the next season or two. So you got to deal with the squad that you have today. You're not going to get players. Of course, that's my thinking, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody has think otherwise.
Yeah,
that is what
I think it's obviously like when you support a club that's you feel has missed out on these things, and you can kind of reverse it, and you can say, kind of, imagine for, I don't know, a Man City fan, imagine if you'd never become the club you are, and you're just still watching Man United win everything, and then they got not found out, sorry, because that's accusing they're definitely guilty, but they got accused of the same thing City have been accused for, as an example. You would probably be going, throw the kitchen sink at them. I want to see them relegated and relishing in that an opportunity to bring them down, right? So we're all going to view it based on which side of that situation we sit on, and the same's going to sit with Chelsea. Obviously, my instinct as a Spurs fan is I want their title stripped. I want that title when Conte won it and we came second. I want them relegated. I want them on a 3-year transfer ban. But I know that's not really a fair punishment for what.
And it's not realistic.
Right? But more. I just want the rules. I just want the rules to be the rules and obey the rules, right? Because again, I'll use Arsenal's own George Graham, 1995. He was found to have received money by himself, George Graham, right? From whoever to get players to come play for Arsenal. When Arsenal found out that he breached his contract, what did the club do? The club fired him. Because
but these are new owners. They can do. The club did exactly the same.
Hear what I'm saying more. I'm not saying these are not the new owners. I'll address the Chelsea new owners a bit. The club fired him. The FA fined him and banned him. George Graham was banned and fined for doing the exact similar thing.
But it's still advantaged Arsenal.
Hold on. My point.
Yeah,
is,
but you still won the title, didn't you? It's still part of. It's one of your titles. Did they take the title away?
I mean, then we can go back.
Like, how far can you go?
Exactly. Can I finish what I'm saying? Because right now you're just changing everything. I'm simply saying when someone does something, there's consequences for that action. And we've seen it in the past that consequences have been given. Bans have been issued out. Fines have been issued out. Points deductions have been issued out. I think the only reason why Chelsea is getting a slap on the wrist is because your new ownership, which is what they did that was right, was self-reported. This self-reporting, right, is like taking a plea deal from a court case. Saying, So fair enough. Again, your ownership.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
I'm not saying it's their fault, Mo. I've not said that. I'm saying what they did was right. It wasn't their job to find those things. It was the job of the FA when they were banning Abramovich and selling the club to actually identify all those mistakes. The FA did not. They missed it. Your ownership came in, did an audit, found it, and self-reported. Hence why I think you're getting a slap on the wrist. That's the only reason why I think that you guys are getting. But under normal circumstances, if the FA found out by themselves, I guarantee you, you're not only going to get points deduction, you probably would have gotten a ban of some sort. If they found out by themselves, which means your ownership.
Can I add something before Mark comes in? I just want one more. What Martin said is very true, which is how far can you go and where is the butterfly effect stop? What I mean, but if you say, so I presented an argument and I said that Chelsea won titles illegally because they built on the foundation of Eden Hazard. That's what I said, right? And there is an argument to be stripped. However, if Arsenal or City or Man United or Liverpool or whoever did something illegal in 1975, who says that that is not a butterfly effect and they won the title in the 80s based on that? And that is you cannot go back to a point where you say, let me just let me finish, please. Let me finish. I didn't say that you said that. I didn't say that you said that. I didn't say that you said that. I am just presenting the argument that how far can you go to say strip the title? Because you can say that I can present the argument. If Arsenal didn't bribe someone in the 1920s, Arsenal might not have been as big as now to win the titles in the 60s. I can go as far. Like, where do you stop? There is no limit.
But the point is, everything that happened in the past, there were punishments for it. We've seen it.
Okay, but why are you assuming? Okay, why are you assuming that Chelsea are punished? You disagree with the punishment. They are punished.
What I'm saying is,
you disagree with the punishment, but they are punished.
Because I disagree with the punishment because it's a similar type of offense that all these other teams did in the past, but they got a heavier punishment. So, for example, there was a ban of an owner. There was a removal of a manager. There's different clubs that have faced.
Muhammad, they removed the owner.
Hold on.
I am not going to sit here and debate the punishment, Dayo, for one reason. Because you aren't making the punishment up. Like,
hang on. Be careful on the owner stuff because we all know that was political as well. So now we're going to start political debates.
I'm not asking for owners. I'm saying,
Jim,
people in the past who committed, who were charged and found guilty, had bigger and like way worse, penalties for what they did.
Yeah.
My question is,
I agree with this. I don't disagree with this. Yeah, fine.
So my thing is, I think, and I agree that the only reason why Chelsea is getting a slap, like I said, is because they self-reported. But I think it should still be a points deduction at the very
Okay, that's
least.
an opinion. I respect your opinion for this. That is your
No,
opinion. I
No,
respect
that's
it.
fine. I'm just
I
saying.
respect
I
it.
agree with the position. I'm sorry because they're stripping titles, and then because then you'll get teams who've been relegated will say, "Well, we played them
Chelsea and
Some
got
point in
relegated
the
then. I
season.
want to go
And-
back.
and then we're going to end up with chaos where you're going to have teams like Swansea, who were in the Premier League 5, 6, 7 years ago, are going to start saying they want money. They got relegated because they
I
got
agree
beat
with
by
Martin
City or
here.
beat by Chelsea.
I do not agree. I do not agree with the cheating thing that Chelsea did, but I have to be worried about, okay, how far is the butterfly effect? Can Swansea say, I want $1 billion because I was relegated because Chelsea there? Can someone say
to what level should their punishment be? Because they've been found guilty.
I told you what I think, but that is my personal opinion. I'm not
that's what I'm asking.
I am a judge on YouTube only. I'm not a real judge. I cannot
agree.
decide
He
that.
said 5
I
points
cannot
deduction
decide that
beginning of next
punishment.
season.
Can you show us your
Like-
bar? Can you show us your bar? You get your bar out.
Because again,
like here it is. I said, guys, I think that Chelsea should have suspension of the transfer for the next year, like this season, or 1 more year or something, because they have enough deep squad, enough to actually be able to carry with the squad. And maybe they start the season on a 5-point deduction for the next 2 seasons. That has happened in other leagues, but it happened in a championship. I think there is a team that started the season with -10 or something like this as a punishment. But stripping the title and doing, I don't know how far can we go.
The
People use
title,
the Juventus case. Juventus is different.
No. Juventus bribed the referees.
No, that's Mo. That's why I'm saying that's different. The Juventus, no, because I hear us. Well, Juventus got stripped because that was very different when you're bribing referees onto results.
You won the game on the pitch illegally.
You won the game on the pitch illegally at that point.
Go ahead, Mark and Sal. Guys, I want to hear what you guys said. Sal was going to say something. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna bring it into a situation like when you think about what happened to Bolton during the 90s and a goal went over the line and they didn't get it. It was against Everton or something like that. And I was thinking like the butterfly effect sort of thing. What would have happened to Bolton? What would have happened to the team that came up, etc. It's how far you can bring it back. I think you just have to accept what it is and just punish from now on. You have to punish from now. You can't have retrospective action and give teams titles and things like that, because it'd be sour taste anyway. So
I don't even agree that they should strip their title. Like I said, as soon as we started, I said I don't agree. All that stripping to me personally, it's tainted in my mind because you're found guilty. Keep your title, no problems. But I think that the punishment level
should be harsh.
Enough. And I'll tell you why I said I'll tell you why I said again, because you self-reported, that's a good thing. So fair enough, I would be a bit lenient. Okay, you self-reported, you came, you found it. It's not like we investigated you and found it. So for me, all right, here's point deduction, first and foremost. Here's a transfer ban, secondly, and that 10 million, I'll probably make it 25 and ask you to pay it over 2 seasons. I don't mind. This is to tell the other people in the league that, listen, hey, you can keep your title. Nobody's going to strip it or whatever, where we now have to start going back. Or who came second? Give it to them. No. But if you mess this up next time as any other club, the punishment will be more severe if we find out as the FA. This one was self-reported. This is how much punishment we gave them. Imagine if we have to investigate you and find out. That's just what I think,
What do you think, Mark?
I think that firstly, the punishment in terms of the fine was over 20 million. It was only because they went ahead and self-reported, it was reduced down to 10 million. All these other transfer ban, right now, the academy, we're not allowed to sign any young players in the EFL or in the Premier League. But internationally, we still can. And then in a couple of years' time, this ban could happen depending on whether Chelsea breach anything else. But my question to everyone would be, do you really think that this is the only time that a club has paid agents to get the player over the line?
No.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. My personal belief in something doesn't make it a fact or a true. Does that make sense?
It does.
Does that make sense to you, Mark? Like
that Chelsea are the only
but Mo on YouTube believe in something doesn't make it fact. It's just my belief. That
Well,
is- it's just-
that's all I can ask.
But I don't
you're
know
not
the
an expert.
facts,
I can
Mark.
only
I don't know
ask
the
what you're
facts,
thinking,
Mark.
Mo. I can only
Yeah,
ask what you think.
I believe that all teams pay under the table money to get players on, and I believe that 100%. There are agreements. Man United. There were rumors about Man United with Jorge Mendes. Sal, do you remember that? There is a signing that happened, and someone that went to Bebe or something like this that went to Man United because you were gonna sign someone else, and they said that. You remember that as well.
I think he wants
So
to
money-
forget
So Man United,
Another
later
player.
that people, there were rumors that Man United signed a player under the, like, they were forced to sign a player for the other player to agree to go to them. I'm gonna give you an example. Donnarumma, he signed only the contract for Milan by basically, but the public, he told him, you have to sign my brother to be the third goalkeeper for the team, otherwise I'm not signing the contract. That by itself is bribing, right? It's a bribery. You're literally paying someone. I know it's not under the table, but there are stuff that happened like this. So I believe, Mark, there are things that happen under the table.
That's not bribery. That is saying I come as a package, and if
Yeah,
that's not bribery. I
You
don't
just
have to
forget.
request you. That's no, it is a package deal. It is part of, like, it's the same way you say no bribery.
he doesn't quite get that one, does he?
Tayo, this
That
is
was
literally
George Graham's excuse.
This is literally you twisting
It was a
someone's
gift.
arm to sign the player. So
And the
basically,
person
you are
doesn't have
forced.
the person doesn't have to sign you. Then I don't want your brother.
Fair
So
enough.
go somewhere else. That's like this is a deal on the table. Is what I'm saying. It's not nobody's arm has been twisted.
Are we that naive to think this doesn't actually really go on everywhere?
No, I believe it does.
Allegedly, Man United
Yeah,
signed Tevez if we let West Ham stay up at the last game of the season, the 1-0 at Old Trafford.
So allegedly, this is all allegedly, but yeah, stuff like this happen, people.
Do you
I'm
not
not
think?
sure-
Do you not think player? I mean, it's not his bread in, but do you not think owners or chief execs say, "Tell you what, we want one of your players, but we want one of your players. You let us have it at that price. You have it at that price." And we'll,
100%.
it goes on at that. Listen, I know we all want to play the fan, and we want to do the my team's better than yours, and my team's green, whiter than white, and we don't do anything wrong. I get it. Everyone wants City done, so Arsenal, United, Liverpool, whoever gets titles. People want Chelsea done, so they gain the titles. And this is what's going on in the world.
We'll see.
We
Let me do
don't-
the super chat so we can get out of here, people. Let me do this. What are gonna do? Ban Roman again? Yeah, they can't ban Roman Abramovich again. They
Hence
already
why,
kicked him out of the country.
hence why the points deduction. Hence why I said, because you don't have that ownership anymore and you can't do anything to that ownership, you need to give some level of punishment to the club right now. Because again, it did help them, and there's a commission cap for agents. The problem with what you're saying is like, oh, don't you think other teams do it? No, there's a commission cap. When you exceed that commission cap is when you begin to pay under the table. Depending on what, once you pay, like for example, a player earning over 200,000, his agent should not get more than 2% of his annual, and if it gets to over 200,000, he gets 3%, and for the selling,
Anyway,
he
I've got
gets
to shoot.
10%.
I've stayed longer than I should.
Yeah, big up Martin.
Big up,
I'm gonna
Paul.
end it. I'm
Big
gonna
up,
finish
Martin.
the
Take
super
care,
chats
man.
and then we're gonna
Big
get
up,
out of here,
Paul.
people. Big
Dio,
up, Martin.
you'll be
Martin, I'll
crying
see
on
you
Monday.
Sunday.
You'll
I'll
be
see
crying Sunday night.
We'll see.
I'll wave at you from Wembley.
This will be my first trophy this season. On the way to winning the treble. So I'll see you Sunday. Yeah.
I'll send you a nice photo from Etihad South.
Yeah, you're gonna be crying, bro. You're gonna be crying, man. Hey.
I'll
Big
hang
up.
it up on the wall.
Let me see, guys. Jamal is saying, please educate yourself on Graham before talking. I think Dai went and researched what happened, and Dai actually told us what happened, Jamal. So yes, he did. If you don't take away the trophy, every fan should push their owner to cheat now and accept any future punishment while keeping the trophies. No, but I'm going to tell you what I mean by having a point deduction every season for the next 2-3 seasons or something like this. That sits Chelsea backwards. What I mean by this, that will prevent Chelsea from winning the league. If Chelsea were going to win the league in the next 2-3 years, that will set them back, Marco. Because as I said, guys, the butterfly effect, how far can you go? How far can you go?
Yeah.
Do you go to the 80s, the 90s, 70s, 20s?
Yeah.
You have to, because
yeah,
by the
why
way, there is no line. Like, you cannot say this is the line where the butterfly effect stopped. You can't.
Yeah.
You can
Which
say
is why,
that, right?
which is why you punish them for the future to handicap them for those trophies they've won in the past.
Thank you so much, Dai. Exactly this
time. You know what? Keep your trophies, no problems. But I will give you a point.
We're gonna handicap you in the future.
In the next 3
So
seasons.
you won't win if you were planning to win in 2029. We're gonna actually prevent you from doing that by taking it away from you
because of that punishment.
because of what happened before. You're spot on, Dio.
What you should have won in
I agree with you.
You already won by cheating in 2016. So keep that. But going forward, we're going to, and that for me is the punishment, you know, because digging that up and saying, oh, strip their trophies, give it to the next person. This is every team in the league at that time will now come and complain. Every team. Because if you're giving it
because you guys think that the second team is gonna say, I won my title, right? I just want to think about the team that finished 5th that year could have had 70-80 million pounds included in their financial year for Champions League. They're gonna say, I want that 80 million pounds that I could have joined the Champions. You get my point?
Yeah.
How far does it go? The team that went down can say, well, I could have stayed in the Premier League and made millions.
I lost 6. I went down by 4 points, but I lost 6 points to Chelsea because they cheated and bought these players. So I went down by, you know, I probably would have beat Chelsea or drawn and gotten some points and stayed up. And now they'll also be suing.
You're spot on, Dio. I agree with you 100% here. You're spot on. Comparing cooking the books to Graham, God help us.
No,
I'm not educated enough.
Again, it's not a comparison, right? D-Day quiet. It's not a comparison. We're talking about offenses and punishments. I don't know why you think that you're comparing those two things. We're saying there was an offense by George Graham and there was punishment from him by the FA and even the club. Now there's an offense and I feel like the punishment is a slap on the wrist instead of a real punishment. That's the difference. Everything is not comparison. When you talk about players, you're talking about calibers of players, not, oh, this person is head to head. That's just shallow.
Thinking you should get no punishment for cheating is a sign of a person with a lack of moral character. Hey, panel, cheat on our taxes. But no one said that. No, none of us, even the Chelsea fan never said that. I don't think any of us said that there should be no punishment for cheating. I don't understand, where did you get this from, my man? We literally, all of us said that Chelsea should be punished and heavily.
Yeah,
so I don't understand.
We're discussing what type of punishments and when those punishments should be issued. Should we do it retrospectively in the past, or should we say going forward, because of what you did, we're going to punish you so that you are handicapped in the future? That's the conversation. The fact that you just listen to respond. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, Arsenal gained an advantage from John Jensen, but how far? Okay, Mike, how far can you go? Okay, not Arsenal. What about something that happened in the 50s for Man United? What about something happened in the 60s? What about something happened in the 80s? So how far can you go, Mike? That is the question. The charges are for a specific period. Yeah, but that specific period has an effect, and that specific period was the hazard, for example, was a certain year. So that affected that year. Should they get punished only that year? They didn't win the title that year. They won the title after. So that particular charge for hazard was only the 2012 year.
Okay, so Marco, here's what we're saying. Let's say in 2015, right? They got a player, and because of that, they won the league. I'm saying the punishment should be points deduction. If they won by a gap of 10 points, I'm deducting 10 points from you next season first. So next season, you're starting with -10. You're not getting the advantage that you should have. Because if I go strip that trophy, and I know a lot of people are going to start doing Tour de France, and that's an individual sport. That's one person. That's one guy, right? One guy riding his bicycle. They found that he cheated. They stripped him, and they gave it to number 2. That is a very specific sport. In this case, right, Chelsea has already committed the offense. The people who found the offense are new owners. Let's not forget this. And then they self-reported. Let's not forget this. So the new ownership came in, found something wrong with the old ownership, reported themselves and said, hey, look at what we found. It's not like investigators came in, investigated Chelsea, found this illegal thing, and Chelsea was hiding it. There's a big difference. It's a plea deal, and I get that they will be soft on them, but I think points deduction should have been the way forward.
Yeah. I know. Listen, people, I want to thank everyone that joined us. It's a tricky situation. We don't know all the answers. None of us are actually judges, and we don't know all the answers. Just people need to understand. We're just discussing it from a personal point of view, guys. That's what we're doing. Salah's channel in the description. Bournemouth watch along, of course, versus Manchester United. Of course, straight for post in the description. The Frenemies podcast He did a great video actually about the cup final. Go and check, of course, Mark and Neil on the channel. Fantastic. The Gunner Edge is there as well. Listen, Mancunian Way is there. Also Spurs. Of course, all the channels are in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow or later tonight. Someone said Mo isn't a real judge. I am. I judge football. I will see you guys. These guys will take to the catch up. Judge Mo Raid in their chat. I will see you guys later. Eid Mubarak to everyone. And we're out of here, people.